Scott Johnson, host of Going Ringside. Breaking news, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has ordered flags at half-staff on August 1st to memorialize Hulk Hogan. He's declaring August 1st Hulk Hogan Day in Florida.
America seems to be divided on the passing of Hulk Hogan. Once a star loved by the entire country and wrestling fans all over the world, Hulk Hogan's scandal in 2015 put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth, especially those sympathetic to the Black American community. As we know, his daughter Brooke Hogan was dating a black man, and somehow Hulk Hogan was recorded talking negatively about black people. And ever since that day, the legacy of Hulk Hogan has been on the decline. He actually lost a lot with the WWE, was never allowed to participate in the sport again from that standpoint, and then kind of lived a life full of obscurity out of wrestling, depending on who you talk to. Not everybody is disgruntled with Hulk Hogan. A few people have come to his defense, even some Black Americans, but most notably people like Michael Rappaport, Joey Swole, and others.
You know, Hulk Hogan passed, and Hulk Hogan was a resident of Florida. Hulk Hogan, his legacy was stained by his own racism. He hasn't been able to live it down in life and death. When he died, his racism was front and center. Nobody gave him a pass. He took that legacy to the grave with him. And a lot of white supremacists feel a certain way about that.
Now, Tariq Nasheed talks about the fact that these people are coming on the defense of Hulk Hogan, and we can infer that racism is tied to their defense of the late great wrestler. But what he says next is interesting.
So Ron DeSantis, he sees what's going on. So Ron DeSantis, he wants to make a bold move since he's running things down there in Florida in office. Ron DeSantis decides to say, hey, we're going to make August 1st Hulk Hogan Day down here in Florida. So he wants to double down. So Ron DeSantis wants to be slick and just understand where that's coming from. That's basically Ron DeSantis trying to antagonize black people.
He says here that Governor DeSantis is basically looking at the climate and saying, well, listen, since these other people are getting a backlash, we will double down by supporting Hulk Hogan and giving him Hulk Hogan Day on August the 1st. If you guys didn't know, Hulk Hogan was born in Georgia, but he was raised in the Tampa Bay, Florida area, and he even died in Clearwater, Florida. But the next part is shocking.
You know, he was caught on tape using the N-word multiple times, expressing blatant anti-black sentiments and declaring a day in his honor, especially in a state that's, racially diverse as Florida. That's not about wrestling. That's a middle finger to black society.
Tariq Nasheed is 100% right on his assessment. But I had to go and check this out for myself.
Today in the state of Florida, I've declared to be Hulk Hogan Appreciation Day. And in recognition of somebody who was obviously a major figure for many, many decades, particularly for people in my generation.
Now, Ron DeSantis is definitely saying, yeah, this is a great idea. Hulk Hogan should get this particular day. And he wasn't the only person that felt like this. I went on to TikTok and look at this. Steve Kumar, best there ever was, best there is, best there will ever be. R.I.P. brother, legends never die. This particular comment doesn't infer that the person is excited about the day, but you can tell that he's not defensive about it not happening. Peter says, I think that's awesome that they're doing that. Hopefully soon it will be a national holiday because without Hogan wrestling would not be what it is today.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the you think you is?
Matt says, as it should be. Notice the white people saying this. Lyle says, it's right on to honor an icon like that. That's when our treaty days begin. Now, this must be a person from Europe, by the way, spelling honor. I will lower my flag August 1st. R.I.P. Hulk Hogan. As you can see, another person. This individual goes, absolutely. He was born and raised SOG, Florida. Joey says, for anyone saying why, and for anyone that does not understand, Hogan was a resident of Florida. He lived in Clearwater. It would only make sense for the state of Florida to honor one of their own. That's awesome. Well done, Governor DeSantis.
Why?
That was interesting. While Governor DeSantis can honor Hulk Hogan, who was definitely a racist, he had problems with certain other ideologies.
Yesterday, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis stood by his state's decision to reject access to an AP course on African American studies. In a written letter to the College Board, DeSantis' administration writes that the class significantly lacks educational value. The Republican governor says he supports banning the course because its lessons dive too far into political agendas, broaching topics like intersectionality, Black Lives Matter movement, Black feminist literature, activism, and reparations.
As you can see, he had issues with, the Black history context being in Florida. Now, some of that was mixed in with the LGBTQ and Black Lives Matter, but ultimately you can infer that he has a problem with Black Americans in general. It's almost clear, and other people feel the same way.
So, Ron DeSanctimonious just declared August 1st as Hulk Hogan Day in Florida. To honor the guy best known for ripping his shirt off and dropping racial slurs on camera. And somehow, that gets a whole day of flag lowering and state recognition. Meanwhile, these same individuals are still foaming at the mouth over Juneteenth being a federal holiday. A day that literally marks the end of slavery in this country. A day rooted in freedom, justice, and American history. But no, that's just too woke, right? It's wild how in Florida, all you have to do is be racist and famous, and you get a damn holiday. But if you're Black and asking for recognition of basic history and human rights, suddenly it's divisive.
This other individual notices this as well. And this is something that I feel a lot of people in Black America should realize, is that, like Dr. Claude Anderson said, whites and certain people are going to be more open about their discontent, and this is evident, is what's going to happen. I feel as though that many people in our community, when we have problems with one another, and you're very open to talk about it in front of other people, understand that you are doing their job, okay? What needs to happen are things like this. We need to see open racism and open biases from people from other communities. It's the only way to really officially call it out. It's to the point that no more do you need guys like the Brandon Tatums or the Candace Owens to call it out anymore. But that was how it used to be. It used to be that these influencers in 2016, 2017, they were doing all the work for the whites. But now they're doing it themselves. And this is actually a good thing, not because it's disrespectful. Then again, you can also infer that this is how people believe who will talk about it. You must understand there are other people who don't want to talk about it, but also agree with it. Just like we saw with the guy, Eric Orval, the guy who's building that particular house in Arkansas, Missouri, that particular community. They found out that it was so many people, police officers, and even people in the government that were supporting this, right? They want to also get away from everybody else and join in with the racism. This is what is needed for people to understand that, hey, America isn't so unified as we thought. You have so many people out there saying things like, oh man, racism don't exist no more. It's all good. It's all about money. I bet you if Hulk Hogan was Black and he said something about white people and it was negative and it was derogatory, the state of Florida would not honor the person. Do you think that Ron DeSantis is unaware about Hulk Hogan's prior history when it comes to making commentary on Blacks? Hulk Hogan cried. He asked for forgiveness. So of course he knows. What happens here is you have a governor who doesn't care. And clearly you have many whites that are out there that feel the same way, which means that you can disrespect Black people and still be looked at as a legend. But if you're Bill Cosby, and I know it's a whole different story there, right? You cannot be looked as a legend if you do anything to white people. That's just what's going to happen. You can be Hulk Hogan, King Leopold of the Congo, and to white people, to a certain degree, you can be looked at as somebody that is great. But a lot of Blacks, we're sitting around thinking that it's still on equal footing. It's not on equal footing. You haven't arrived yet. You got to understand that there are a lot of people that actually believe what Hulk Hogan said about their kids not dealing with black men or black women. A lot of people in the black community go around talking that stuff. Oh yeah, I want to get me a white wife or a white husband. Okay, do you know why Hulk Hogan is getting so much support? Because you got a lot of whites who feel the exact same way. Don't want to say it. You're not going to get anybody out there protesting from the white community for the most part. You might get a few white liberals, but a lot of them, okay, secretly feel the same way, in my honest opinion, that Hulk Hogan might, all right, or have certain agreements with his stance. And we got to wake up and understand that we are out here for the most part for ourselves. And if we don't do it for ourselves and take care of our own people, nobody else will. Because as long as you got a governor like Ron DeSantis, he is not worried about you. He's worried about the whites and those people in the state. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Dude Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity John. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.